What's less fun than a root canal but more necessary than brushing your teeth? You guessed it, taxes. Ah, taxes. The mere mention of the word can make the most hardened of us break out into a cold sweat. But fear not, for it is not a monster lurking in your closet, rather a misunderstood friend who just needs a bit of your time and patience. Just like your morning coffee, taxes are an essential part of our everyday lives. They fund the roads we drive on, the schools our children attend, and the parks we love to relax in. Simply put, without taxes, our world would be a far less comfortable place to live. But let's be real, nobody wakes up in the morning excited to fill out tax forms. It's a bit like eating your veggies. You know it's good for you, but it doesn't mean you have to like it. However, understanding the basics of taxes can make the process less daunting and, dare I say it, even a little enjoyable. We all know the saying, in this world, nothing is certain, except death and taxes. Well, I'd like to add a third certainty to that list. And the confusion surrounding taxes. But that's where we come in, to help you navigate this maze with ease and maybe even a chuckle or two. Did you hear about the mathematician who's afraid of negative numbers? He'll stop at nothing to avoid them. Just like how we'll stop at nothing to help you avoid any tax-related pitfalls. You may be asking yourself, but why should I care about taxes? Well, just like how a good diet and regular exercise can help you avoid a visit to the doctor, a good understanding of taxes can help you avoid a visit from the taxman. And trust me, a visit from the taxman is a lot less fun than a visit to the doctor. Now that we've got the pleasantries out of the way, let's dive into the world of tax filing. Alright folks, step 1 is like a scavenger hunt but with paperwork instead of treasure. Exciting, right? Now you might be thinking, why do I need to gather all these documents? Well, the answer is simple. Each of these documents contains vital information that's needed to accurately report your income and calculate your taxes. So let's break it down. First up, we have the W-2S. If you're an employee, your employer sends you this form. It lists your annual wages and the amount of taxes withheld from your pay. It's the cornerstone of your tax return, so keep an eye out for it in the mail around January or February. Next, we have the 1099-S. These are for the freelancers and gig workers out there. It's similar to the W-2, but it's for self-employed income. There are several types of 1099-S, so don't be surprised if you receive more than one. Remember, Uncle Sam wants to know about all your income sources. And then there are the receipts for deductions. These are your golden tickets to reducing your taxable income. They can range from receipts for charitable donations to medical expenses, and even business expenses if you're self-employed. The key here is to stay organized throughout the year, so you can easily locate these receipts when tax season rolls around. Now, where can you find these documents? Well, besides the traditional mail, many of these documents are also available online. You can typically access them through your employer's payroll portal, your bank, or your client's payment system. And don't forget about your personal records. Things like your mortgage interest statement or student loan interest statement can be crucial to your tax filing. You might be surprised how much money these little pieces of paper can save you. So there you have it. A quick guide to gathering your tax documents. Yes, it's a bit like a scavenger hunt, but the treasure at the end of this hunt could be a bigger tax refund, or at least a smaller tax bill. Congratulations! You've successfully completed step 1 of the tax filing process. Your reward, more paperwork. Scene script. Step 2 is like choosing your relationship status on social media, but with more financial implications. Let's start with single. If you're unmarried, divorced, or legally separated, this is the status for you. It's simple, straightforward, and doesn't involve dividing your Netflix subscription. Next up, we have married filing jointly. If you and your spouse share everything, from your last name to your love for pineapple on pizza, this might be your best bet. It often results in a lower tax bill, but remember, with great power comes great responsibility. You both will be responsible for the tax bill. Head of household is a bit more nuanced. If you're single but not really single, because you have dependents like children or other family members, this is your status. It offers more generous tax benefits compared to the single status. So, take a deep breath and think it through. Choose wisely, my friends. Your tax filing status is more than just a status update. Welcome to step 3, where we play fill in the blanks with numbers. It's just like Mad Libs, but less fun. Let's dive right into it. Filling out your tax form might seem like an insurmountable task, but it's really just about gathering all the right information and putting it in the right places. Don't worry, we'll take it one step at a time. First up, your income. This is where you're going to fill in all the money you've made over the past year. And no, sadly, finding a $20 bill on the sidewalk doesn't count. Here, You're going to include your wages, salaries, tips, interest, dividends, and everything else that constitutes your total income. Next, you'll tackle your deductions. Think of these as the silver lining to your tax cloud. Deductions can include things like certain medical expenses, student loan interest, and even some work-related expenses. It's like a scavenger hunt where you're looking for ways to lower your taxable income. Now, on to credits. While deductions reduce your taxable income, credits are even better. They reduce your taxes dollar for dollar. Some common credits include the Earned Income Tax Credit, the Child Tax Credit, and the American Opportunity Credit. It's a bit like finding a coupon for your taxes. Once you've filled in all this information, take a deep breath. You're almost there. But before you rush off to submit your form, take a moment to double-check your work. It's easy to make mistakes when you're dealing with numbers, especially if you've been working on your taxes for a while. So, take a break, have a cup of tea or coffee, and then come back to your form with fresh eyes. And there you have it. You've navigated the wilderness of income, deductions, and credits, and come out the other side. Double-checked your work and ready to submit your form. And just like that, you've filled out your tax form. Give yourself a pat on the back or a high five, you've earned it. Step 4 is the final hurdle. It's like sending off your child to college, but less emotional. You've gathered your documents, chosen your filing status, filled out your form, and now it's time to submit your tax return. You've got two main options here: good old snail mail or e-filing. If you're fond of stamps and the feel of paper, mailing might be your way to go. But if you're more into the 21st century, e-filing is a quick and efficient option. E-filing is like that express line at the grocery store. It's faster, and you get your refunds quicker. Plus, you'll get a confirmation email so you know it's been received. It's like getting a read receipt for your taxes. So whether you're an old-school mailer or a digital native, the most important thing is to ensure your tax return makes its way to the IRS. And there you have it, folks. Your tax return is off into the world. Don't worry, it'll write home when it gets your refund. So, what have we learned today, besides the fact that taxes can be as fun as a trip to the dentist? Well, we've taken a joyful, if not slightly ironic journey through the world of taxes, haven't we? We started off by embracing the joy of taxes, or at least attempting to. We discovered that taxes are an unavoidable part of life, like getting a flat tire or misplacing your car keys. But just like you wouldn't let a flat tire ruin your day, you shouldn't let taxes get you down either. Then we rummaged through the paperwork jungle gathering our tax documents. It's a bit like a treasure hunt, except instead of gold and jewels, we're hunting for W-2S and 1099-S. But hey, who doesn't love a good scavenger hunt, right? Next, we navigated the labyrinth of tax filing statuses. It's like choosing your character in a video game. Only this time, the choices are married, single, head of household, and so on. Choose wisely, my friends, for your tax destiny depends on it. After that, we rolled up our sleeves and dove into filling out our tax forms. It's like completing a puzzle where the pieces are numbers and the picture is your financial situation. With a little patience and a lot of coffee, we pieced it all together. Finally, we reached the finish line, submitting our tax return. It's the equivalent of crossing the finish line after a marathon, only instead of a medal, you get the satisfaction of having completed your civic duty, and possibly a tax refund. Not quite as shiny as a medal, but certainly more useful. Remember, tax season doesn't have to be scary. With these steps, you'll be a tax filing pro in no time. Until next time, keep those calculators warm.